All right, so I thought this was really important. I wanted to show you guys real quick here on the maps the annual route of stripers when they run up the river for spring run and fall migration run. So right now we'll start in the summertime around June, the month we're in now. They typically spend summer months in the Pacific Ocean coastlines and San Francisco Bay. When fall approaches, they start heading west into the bays. First, they go into San Pablo Bay, then Sassoon Bay, and then into the western part of the delta. By the end of October, November, they are all throughout the delta, and they spend the entire winter in the delta. And when springtime comes, they start heading upriver near the Calusa area, approximately 65 miles upriver from the Sacramento city. Here's something really important I want you guys to understand, and I want to try to make it clear for you guys because it's really important, and you can get ahead of the stripers if you understand. So when the springtime comes, every year is different. So the winter before the springtime is what you want to pay attention to, and there's two things you want to watch for: is the water temperature when it rises, and then also the weather, if we're getting a lot of rain, and the water flow from that weather. So if we have a really bad drought year, the fish are going to spawn way more downriver, Knights Landing area, Sacramento area, maybe even they spawn in the delta. But if we have a really wet, long winter and we get a lot of rain and it's cold for longer, it's going to push these stripers in the system for much longer. They're going to move up the river much further, head all the way to Calusa, and then they're going to stay in the system for much longer. So like this year, we're having an extended striper run because of the season, the really wet season we had before this. So depending on what kind of wet season we had before the spring, they may be completely spawned out and out of the system in May. It could be April. But this month's going to be a lot longer. Like I said, it's going to go through June. These stripers, they're not spawning anymore. They're spawning out, but they are headed back to the ocean. Not all of them go back to the ocean. Some stripers stay local and they stay in the river system and in the delta system their whole lives. So the majority schools of striper do go back to the ocean. So I predict these stripers, we're still going to be catching spawned out stripers, I think, all the way until around 4th of July. I think we're still going to be catching them. The shakers are coming in pretty thick right now around the Knights Landing area, and they're still catching keepers, and some people are limiting it out. But you could tell when they're catching them, these stripers, they are fully spawned out. And when that happens, they get super hungry and they just start tearing up food. So right now, your best bet's going to be some bait